Hey, hey.
Hello, everybody.
We're a little late today. We had a last-minute technical difficulty, so.
We're not that late. It's only 3:06. I thought it was like 3:30.
Well,
That
6 minutes,
was a long
six
technical
minutes
delay.
late is late, right?
Well, we always try to start early just in case something like this happens. So we've been on for like 40 minutes trying to figure this out.
We've been a little bit in panic mode to get this thing going. Yeah, just at the last minute, just the whole streaming server went down, and then the error. I thought it was my computer, and I rebooted. I'm scrambling, trying to get it done, and when I pulled it back up, it just said they were having technical difficulty, and then for whatever reason, Judy's camera wouldn't work.
So I had a quick come downstairs to my laptop. I don't know. Oh, I hope my camera on my main computer isn't out.
Yeah, you probably just need to
worry about it.
Because that's what I did. But it was weird just because mine was off too. And when I tried to start the camera and restream, it would just shut it off right away and says your camera's not accessible. So I don't know.
That's what mine was doing. That's why I didn't think it was my computer, but this worked.
It might just be a glitch on the computer because you were starting on the errored restream or something. I don't know. Who knows? Well, we'll get it.
I think it's too closely linked. That must be it.
Yeah, something. Anyway.
Now we made it.
Yeah, we made 6 minutes. It wasn't too.
No.
So I'm still in sunny Florida, as you can see behind me. I'm very silhouetted, as Judy had told me.
I'm like, I can see the whole beautiful background. I just can't see you. Although I do know it's you. I can tell it's you.
It's like the old electric company episodes where they're like, shh, up, shop.
Oh, I loved that. Ship.
So
everything's
going good. I'm off the crutches finally, and my ankle's not 100% for sure, but it's getting there. I'm walking. I'm able to walk and drive and things, so that's good.
Good.
We're getting there. Yeah, I could get it into a shoe finally. Like the other day, my mom was just like, let's run to Publix and I'm like, I don't want to wear the crutches so I can walk, but I couldn't get my flips on. Like my foot was so big, I couldn't get the flip on. So I break the heel on my shoe and just stuff it into the shoe. So shuffling along Publix with half stuffed foot in the shoe.
No. Wait, didn't you tell me you got the wheelchair or no?
No. It's where she's like, use the cart. I'm like, I can walk. I just, it's just that shoe. But I don't want to take out. They have like 2 carts, and then
you don't want to take it up.
Yeah,
someone else needs it. That's true.
But anyway, so it's on the mend. No more crutches, and I really don't even notice it all day unless I walk up and down stairs. It's still just like that motion of stepping hurts. I can feel it there, but
no more accidents.
No, that's what I'm hoping for. I know.
Hey. So I'm going down there on Monday, which I'm super excited to see everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm just a little nervous about flying. Did I talk to you about that?
No.
I don't know. I don't think this is the greatest time to fly, but
they say it's not that dangerous. I mean, they say a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of information flying around.
There's a lot. I know.
But, I don't know if it's super dangerous just because the way that they're circulating the air in the plane. I don't think it's a problem.
Well, Uncle Bill was telling me to point the fan, or what is that? The fan right at you. He said,
I always do.
You do?
Well, it's funny because my wife used to always say, like, "Oh, all that filthy air, you're blowing it right in your face." And I'm like, it's not filthy air. It's like clean air. I just like to be cool. Like, if I start getting hot and stuffy, I'll lose it on the plane.
Like, I don't care what's in there. I just like to be comfortable, okay?
Be cooled off. But I usually take my fan and then I take her fan and angle it over too.
Oh, I don't even like the fan because I'm always chilled already. And then the fan just puts me in the deep freeze. So I'm like, no. And he's like, no, when you get on the plane, point that at you and breathe that in the whole time. Yeah. I was like, okay. I think that makes sense because that is the clean air. I didn't know that air, but he told me that's the filtered air that constantly.
Why does everyone think that's dirty air
I
coming?
don't know, because I know why, because we're in a little capsule and you think that that's the only air that's circulating. I don't even know, where does the clean air even come
We
from?
are up in the air. They're taking on air. It
It's
doesn't get any
recirculating.
pressure.
I thought that was everybody's germs being doused upon me, but apparently it's clean air and they're pushing all the dirty germs down. So the airflow is coming clean and everything. And I just read, because I've been a little nervous about this and I've been searching, and they say even if you're sitting smack dab right next to somebody and they cough, it's almost like you're 7 feet away from them, because of that. Just doesn't make sense in my head, but that's what it said. That's what it said. That somehow it's being pushed down, so it's not like, unless they cough right at you, you're still pretty relatively safe. Because I was going to ask you, did you have people sitting next to you on the plane?
Well, I
Besides Mom.
sat next to Mom and Rich. Yeah. Well, because we got on the plane very quickly, so we were right up in front. So there was no one in front.
Right.
There
Nice.
was no one in front of us. We got like that extra
That's
foot
nice.
room seat or whatever. So let me just ask you, if you thought that plane air was recycled, did you also think, like, in the bathroom, those towels, was that just in a loop and you were just pulling out a filthy towel in that towel dispenser?
No, I never thought about that too much. I assumed they were clean.
You know, how people think that happens. Like, oh, those towels just go around and around in that thing.
No,
Like, no, they don't. It's a
No.
towel. Like,
that would be illegal, I think.
yeah, I would think so.
Yuck. I don't really want to use the bathroom, so I won't be doing much drinking on the plane.
Yeah,
Water intake before I leave.
I did have to use the washroom one. And I don't even remember the last time I was in an airplane bathroom. You forget how small they are. I'm like, holy smokes. I mean,
Did you use it?
yeah, I had to. Yeah, but everything was right. It's like a 3-hour flight, but the airport was crowded, whatever. We literally walked right to the gate and got on the plane. There was no bathroom stops for any of us because we were running a little late to get in there. Because of my daughter woke up late, Amelia.
Aw, don't blame my niece.
Can't just pop out of bed and get going. You need extra.
Well, I'm going to try to avoid the bathroom because they just seem kind of germy now. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone in had I not had to. It was I mean, geez, I had coffee and it was. I mean, it was. I'm 5 hours in.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You got a 3-hour plane ride. It was never going to happen. But
yeah,
very small bathroom, very confined space bathroom.
Or this is what you do: as soon as you can go, you go immediately before anyone else uses it.
Yeah, I didn't have that luxury. But since we were right up in the front of the plane, there's 2 in the rear, and I'd only seen one person go in, and then Rich went in, and I'm like, well, if he's up, I may as well get up and use it now.
Yeah, okay.
So it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Well, I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to see.
Yeah, it'll be fine. You get there early, go to the bathroom. You don't have to. I mean, it's the 3 hours isn't that long, but if you haven't gone, it's a long flight.
No, it's just I don't know. I guess the traveling. I had heard that the plane is safer than the airports, and they said a plane is actually safer. The same article, whatever I was reading, the plane is actually safer than a trip to the grocery store. That's what they're saying because of that air. Yeah, so that made me feel better. But it's that nasty airport to worry about.
Well, it wasn't packed. Well, our plane was actually full, but I guess it was kind of packed. Now that I think about it, here it wasn't. When we landed, it wasn't bad. When going, it was bad as far as like. Well, we got there late, so like everyone was like crowding, trying to get position and everything, and we like weave our way into that whole thing. But it wasn't horrible. But
and then I'll be renting the car, so no Ubering or anything like that. So yeah. I am excited to get out of this cold weather, although today it's not that bad in Chicago. I think it's like in the 30s, which I know sounds cold, but coming from 0, this feels balmy now. It's funny how that happens.
Today was the coldest day. I think when we woke up, it was like 56.
Oh,
then it got into the 60s, and now then it just kind of, I think it's like maybe 70, pushed into the 70s. So, but yeah, it was cool. I stayed in. I didn't come out here this morning because it was cold. So I was doing the updates and stuff in the house.
But it's sunny, so.
Yeah, now it's beautiful. Like I said, it's like sunny and 70. Yeah, it's rained like 4 times in the last, 2+ weeks. And it crazy weather. I mean, it rains and then it's sunny. Like it could have been pouring rain an hour ago, and then like the sky opens up and it's a beautiful day.
I know that is funny about that Florida weather.
Yeah, because when it's in Chicago, it's just gloomy and rainy all day
All
long. It
day.
never gets sunny again. It's
Like
done.
today, it's been just overcast all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the gray sky.
Gray skies of Chicago winter.
Nice to
Mhm.
get down there and get some sun
Yeah, it's
by the
beautiful.
pool. Oh, so anyway, so next week, maybe we will broadcast together from the pool. Or I'll be in
Well,
that.
no, we talked about it. We won't. We're leaving
Well,
that
not,
day.
yeah, but I just meant we were gonna.
Oh, through the week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not gonna be able to do the live next week because we'll be flying home that day. So
correct.
we're gonna try to do a few videos during the week. We have a couple of things planned. As long as I'm gonna be down there and we're gonna be together, we thought we would do some fun cooking together and maybe do some live videos. So yeah, so stay tuned for that. We don't really have a plan yet, but we have some ideas of what we want to do.
Yeah.
And then we have a big announcement coming up, not today, but soon, that we're really excited about. Maybe we'll do it together while we're there. So we'll see. But yeah, we've been working on some things and got a lot of exciting things coming up.
There you go.
A little bit of a change, but yeah, it'll be good.
Good stuff.
Yep.
So I wanted to just welcome again just the winter or the new group that's starting Monday. We got a 28-day group starting Monday, the Winter Wonder Group. So I'm looking forward to that. The New Year's resolution group is just about halfway done, right? What's today? Yeah, today's Friday.
Yeah, today's day 12, and
Yeah.
you guys are awesome. I mean, these groups are so amazing. The people, I love the energy. Everybody's posting their food photos, and it's so exciting for us to see the food. And I just love the energy of this group. It's like every group, I say that, but
It is fun to see, like when and I know there's kind of that subgroup, that Dharma group. Just see, they're posting in both groups, but just to see like everyone's making the taquitos, and then like
yeah,
see all the different people making different. I mean they're all the same taquitos, but how they make them different.
yeah.
Different people shots and stuff. It is always fun to kind of see all that stuff. So we love it. Keep it coming.
Yeah, it's so fun, and I love seeing the old meal plan recipes. Like somebody recently made the mushroom soup.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so fun to see that because that is, if meal planners are watching and you like mushroom soup, that is really killer. I worked on that for a long time, just like the pea soup, because I knew it could be better and better. And Phil told me to add, suggested I added the dried mushroom powder, so we went through that. I was like, oh yeah, that'll infuse flavor. I tried different spices. I took them out. I went back to kind of simple, which I always do. It's like I go this full circle, trying all the spices, all these fancy things, and it's like, nope, stick with the basics. It's always best. But it's so good. And so it's so fun to see somebody tried it and they loved it. And I'm like, yes, I hope everybody tries it because if you love mushroom soup, it's so creamy and delicious. And I feel like we should make that for mom because she loves mushroom soup.
Yeah.
I don't know if she ever had that one.
And
Yeah.
now that's a little cooler. Yeah, the soup would be good for sure.
Yeah. And that celery soup, I think she would love too. She was my inspiration for that one. Yeah, people are still loving the soups, and that's why we're still bringing out more and more soup because I still feel like eating soup. I mean, we're in like the thick of winter over here in Chicago, so you just crave that soup. And I just know that a lot of our meal planners are loving all of the soups. Somebody just recently posted that, like, your soups are amazing. It's like I love hearing that because we work really hard on them because we love soup too.
I love soup.
I know, it's the best.
All righty, let's get to the action here. So let me see what I can do here. So first, I'm going to do. Let me see here. One sec. So we're a little off kilter here, like I said. There we go. I just want to put that on, and then what I'm going to do is let me get my screen ready if I can. Okay.
So what are you pulling up first? The chili?
Yep. So it's going to look a little.
Okay. So there it is. So have you people had white bean chicken chili? Because I wrote in the intro to this one that white bean chicken chili was something that my friend's mother, who's also my friend, Marianne, brought over the day after our dad passed away. And it was like he passed away suddenly. We think he had a heart attack in his sleep, but we're not sure. But anyway, we were all kind of, stunned and still kind of in shock. It was like the next day. And it was so unexpected. She brought over this big pot of white bean chicken chili at the time. This is going back 16 years ago. So all of us were meat eaters back then. And it was just, it always stuck with me how so loving that was and so sweet. It just, because like you're just kind of in shock. You're not really thinking about eating. And then it was like a comforting meal right in front of you. It was like, I remember her walking in carrying this
Remember,
giant pot.
I remember.
It melted my heart. I was like, I love you so much. That was so sweet. And like my whole family was filling up on it and we like got nourished and it was just, I don't know, it just always stayed with me. So since I've been whole food plant based, I haven't had that white bean chicken chili. So I thought about it this week or whenever, when we started with this. And I was like, let's make this without the chicken. And it all came together kind of in my head using I know there's the canned diced green chilies. And I was thinking like it could be super delicious without the chicken. So anyway, that's how it came about, and it is. It's really, really good. So yeah, those diced green chilies, they come in those little 4-ounce cans. There's a bunch of different brands, but in any of the international sections, you'll see them. And yeah, just use the whole can. Remember, they're one can or two. I don't have the recipe in front of me right now, but they're not super, super hot. They're a little bit mild, but they do have a little bit of a kick to them. So you might want to use a little less, but they're not like super hot or anything. To me, it's just like a nice little bit of heat. And it's mostly about the flavor because those green chilies are tangy. They have like a tanginess to them that's really, really nice with the creamy white beans. So it's super easy to make this. It's 4 cans of beans, and we use Great Northern beans, but you can use any white bean like cannellini, or I guess there's the white kidney beans.
I don't think I've ever used those before. White kidney beans.
Yeah, I don't know if they're like available everywhere, but I hear I don't yeah, I have used them definitely, but I don't know if I see them all the time, but I'm not sure exactly what the differences are, but you recently told me that the northern beans like soak up the flavor of anything.
Yeah, and I didn't think I thought there was just another name for them, to be honest. And then yeah, I looked it up, and yeah, they said that they don't have as much flavor, and they just kind of soak up whatever flavor you're putting them in. And they're a little bit like I wouldn't say grittier, but they're not as smooth as the cannellini beans. So if you're going to like blend the soup up, I would probably use those instead as well. That rather than these, it sounds like they blend better, but.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, we don't
I've
blend
used
it.
both of these.
We don't blend it, but
No, I'm
I
saying just in general,
oh
not for
yeah.
this soup. Like if you were to blend those beans, I think they might blend better if you
Ooh, that
were to
does sound
blend them.
good, like a white bean blended soup. I think we have one like that
Yeah, yeah, the white bean
too.
bisque. Yeah, we got a white bean bisque.
Yeah. It sounds good right now. So buy 4 cans, and we're using the bean juice. I don't know if that's the right term. The aquafaba, maybe, but is that only garbanzo beans? I don't
I
know.
think that's only garbanzo beans.
Okay, so we're using the bean juice from 2 of the cans and drain 2 of the cans. I just like that ratio. I don't know. I always do that with my chili. It always works out. So that's what I did, and it worked out. So try that. It's in the recipe. It works really nicely. And then the steps that you go through when you add the first undrained cans, you like mash them with the potato masher because you want it nice and creamy, and then you add the other beans later. So you have a nice mix of, like creamy and then hearty beans. Let's see. The cashew sour cream goes really, really well with this. It's so nice. It's like a little, as usual, like a little bit of cooling and tanginess. Yeah, you can make that ahead of time and just have it waiting. And then avocado is always nice to throw in there for creaminess. And then it was fun. I make these little crispy corn strips, and it's just how we make the crispy tortilla chips. You just slice them up like little strips, and it's just a fun thing to throw in for a little bit of crunch. I personally don't like when corn chips are soggy in a soup. I don't like anything soggy in soup, but they stay nice and crisp. So I like a little bit of those. And then I said this in the meal plan, as long as you have your oven on and you're making those, you might as well make some tortilla chips because it's really nice to have salsa and scoop up the chili with the chips.
I
I
like
like
that.
that. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll eat I'll eat it with the chip. I like to eat like that.
Yeah, it's fun too. And then a little squeeze of lime is always nice at the end, you know. So this one is really good. I mean, we just polished it off. I think I have it. I think it's like 4 servings, but not for us. For us, it's definitely well, probably 2, 2.5, let's say. But it's really, really good. So I hope you guys like that one. I think you will. Let's see your photos when you make it.
This beauty.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So if you've had our French onion soup, this is our French onion soup as a grilled cheese sandwich. Which is so funny to me because I had this idea. Phil always laughs at me. He's like, "Oh, sure you did." Well, I did. I had this idea, and this is what always happens. I Google it, and of course, it's already been done. I was like, French onion grilled cheese. And then I Google it, and like 100 pop up. I was like, gosh darn it. I thought of that. But anyway, I just basically took our soup. I took our, I took one of well, the way that we make the caramelized onions for our soup is so nice because you cook them for 50 minutes and it sounds like a lot, but if you've made the soup, you'll know why. And it's really odd because you think, oh, we're, a couple of minutes, not a couple of minutes, like 10, 15, that's good, they're brown. No, the real sweetening takes place probably after minute 40. It's just, they get jammy. And I remember when we first did this, Julie called it, our recipe developer, she called it jammy. And I was like, jammy? And then when you're making them and 40 minutes goes by, you're stirring them, and then all of a sudden they get jammy. It's like they break down enough where it almost looks like onion jam a little bit. So it's really, that's when the real flavor comes in. And you want to like scrape the bottom of that pan. And I like to add like little splashes of water and scrape. And you don't have to babysit it like every minute for 50 minutes. That's a lot. But I like to keep checking on it. But let them sit so they do build the brown bits, and then scrape the pan and incorporate all that into the onions. And it's every time, like right at 50 minutes, it's like, oh, they're done. They're done. And then we add a little bit of red wine. Oh, I don't have this in the notes here. I forgot about that. Did I? No, I'm looking at the meal prep. We add a splash of red wine because it's just such a nice, again, like a nice little bite, or tang or whatever it is, and then some thyme, salt, pepper. That's it. But that red wine, I just love it. It's like 1 tablespoon for this whole batch of onions. But if you don't want to use red wine, you could use. I've seen other people use balsamic or like. Have you used sherry vinaigrette, Phil? I have not used that.
I've used sherry,
Sherry.
not vinaigrette, like actual cooking sherry.
It's funny because I have a bottle of sherry vinaigrette, but I haven't used it. But I just looked up other recipes and people use sherry vinaigrette. It just gives it like another layer of like a tang, and I don't know. So you can use those if you don't want to use red wine. I like the red wine. It's really good. It's like makes it really flavorful. And then so we came up with this Gruyere. This is really exciting news. We have another cheese. And we came up with this Gruyere style cheese because of this sandwich. We thought, okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh. So it's just so fun. So what I do is I look up, like the flavors of what people would add to this. And I got some ideas. And then I just kind of make it my own. And I follow our basic, like our cheese recipes. Sorry, I'm frog in my throat. Hold on. And it just came together so nicely. I mean, it's like tangy, but it's smooth. And I mean, look at that. It's like melty and stretchy. And it was just perfect for this sandwich. And I was thinking about like, what else could I put on this? But we're testing it, and we're like, that's all it needs. I mean, I do like a sprinkle of fresh thyme over just over the cheese or the onions, whatever the layer is. And that adds like a nice little timey taste. but that's all it needs. And then you just grill it in the pan, and it is so good. It is like amazing. If you like Gruyere cheese, you are going to love this one because it is so close. I can't barely believe it.
Yum.
And
Go for it.
and again with the white wine, I was going to make a joke like it's a French sandwich. Of course, there's wine, but there's wine also in the cheese. But I can't help it. The wine adds such a nice bite. It's like that nice little, like, what's the word? Je ne sais quoi. It's just that certain something. So
Yeah.
good. It is so good. So if you don't want to use the wine, though, you can leave it out. Just add a little more water, and it just won't have that certain something. But if you do use it, you'll see what I mean. It just really good.
And if you alter the ingredients, don't come to the website and say you don't like it because you've changed it.
But I do know some people don't want to use wine. I
I
totally
am.
understand. Yeah.
I
And
am.
it will still be really, really yummy. It just won't have those, pungent, let's say, flavors. But it'll still be really yummy. The cheese will be creamy. The onions will be tangy and savory and sweet. The combination of sweet and savory and tangy and crunch, so good.
Sandwich has everything.
Okay, I'm done with the sandwich. Oh,
I
all
roasted
right,
tomato soup.
Billy, you created this one. You talk about this one.
Yeah, I mean, it was just growing up. I mean, we were the grilled cheese and tomato kind of sandwich type of thing. I mean, I remember just eating that as a kid and whatnot. So yeah, tomato soup. I mean, I don't know. We grew up on Campbell's soup.
Campbell's.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's always that same. So just
sure.
adding just a little something different. I love those fire roasted tomatoes. I mean, I
Yeah.
have been using them a lot. I never really used them a lot. Even when you were talking about those. The diced green chilies, they have those fire roasted great diced green chilies too. You can buy.
Oh, I know because I opened the wrong can the other day.
Yeah, I usually buy those. I mean, depending on what I'm making, I do buy those a lot. But same thing here. So when I tried the fire roasted tomatoes, it's like, oh man, that just adds that little extra bit of smokiness. And
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, yeah,
good.
tomato soup, man. That was one thing I never really liked with like a Campbell's soup. It was just kind of thin. It was like a thin tomato. It never really seemed like tomato. It was more like a colored soup to me.
It was like,
Like
wasn't it kind
corn
of
soup.
orangey? Well, ours looks orangey there, but it was sort of just, yeah, like a creamy orangey. There was not much
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. So this has, this has substance. I mean, again, you top it with the fresh basil. Now you have fresh herbs with it, and just kind of a chunkier soup with a little bit of smokiness. Yeah. I mean, it's really good. I mean, I love tomato soup. So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
get different types of soup like that.
And we do blend up some of the soup in the blender, so it is creamy, but you can blend if you want, if you don't want it chunky, because we use crushed fire roasted tomatoes. And we both like a little bit of the texture of the crushed tomatoes, but we do blend some of it up so it has a nice creaminess. But you can blend the whole thing up if you
Sure.
want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so delicious, the soup. I mean, it only gets better. The next day it's so good. But just blend the whole thing up. If you don't want little chunks of tomato, blend the whole thing up. But don't do that before you add the basil, because we add the basil. The fresh basil is always best, I think, at the end. So
Yeah.
you throw that in right when the soup's done. You turn off the heat, then you add the basil, and then it's done. But blend it before that, or your soup will turn green ish.
I
Just
gotta,
don't. Yeah.
gotta say that's another thing. Just blending soups. There's a lot of soups that It's like what, I'm going to blend this and see what see what it's like. So there's even like vegetable soup or something. Sometimes I'll just blend it to see what it's like, kind of thicker and like that. So I have enjoyed a lot of different soups that I typically wouldn't blend, just blended. So. Yeah, I'd like this either way. I do like having a little bit more substance in it, but sometimes I do like them fully blended as well.
Yeah, I think next time I am gonna blend it because I don't know. I like to mix it up too.
Mhm.
Um, I had a lot of test. I wouldn't say flops this week, but I just want to mention that like we are the test kitchen for our meal planners. So it's funny. Phil and I talk to each other and we're like, well, that's why we're doing this because it's frustrating for us too because we are not chefs. I say that all the time, but we're not. And so when I talk to Julie and I tell her like, oh my gosh, I made something 3 times and it didn't work out. And she's like, oh, she kind of laughs at me and she's like, that is not a lot of times. I'm like, that's a lot for me to make something 3 times and not have it be tasty enough to put in our meal plan. And that happens. So Phil and I have a folder of a whole bunch of recipes that are shelved that have been shelved for, I don't know, the last 2 years. So I made a couple this week that are shelved. They weren't terrible, but they just weren't good enough. And that's fine. I just wanted to one was very beautiful and it was almost there. It will be good, but
Well,
not yet.
and that's the thing. So, I mean, I look at it as like, well, one step closer.
Well, no, it is. That
try,
one's
try
great.
that again in a couple of weeks or a month or, whenever
It
you
just
get a
gets
taste of it.
draining. I mean, it gets draining on because I don't know. It's just hard to make it over and over. But I did try this recipe for naan bread. If there's any Indian food lovers out there, I love Indian food. And we're planning on doing an Indian food, a couple dishes. We have a few that are delicious that are, we have ready to go, but it'd be nice to have a naan to have with it. And so I found a recipe and I do this sometimes, like especially if it's just a couple ingredients, just like the lentil tortillas. And like I said, we just credit the person who came up with it. And so I found a 4 ingredient naan recipe and I tried that too this week. It's a lot of dishes. Um, and it didn't work, but it was delicious. It was more like a flat kind of, I don't know, just delicious pancake. And I'm like, what is that thing? Frank came home.
My man cake.
I was eating them. I folded them up and I made like a whole stack. And I was like, that is, ooh, sorry, that's my phone.
They're gonna come
I'm
on.
like, that is not naan, but that is delicious. So I don't know what to do with this thing, but Frank's like, maybe stuff it with something. I was like, what? So anyway, it's sort of a happy accident. It's not naan, but it's a really delicious pancake. And so that's gonna be something when I figure it out.
Well, right. And sometimes that happens too. I mean, I've done that where you're making something and it didn't quite turn out like you like. And it's like, you know what? I can turn this into this and it might be even better than what I thought.
Exactly.
So that
Yeah,
happens as
and
well.
they are really delicious. And I don't know. I just was like, okay, we have to do something with these, but it's going on the side. And then I did another experiment by adding baking powder and baking soda. I'm not sure which one makes things rise. I think it's powder. And it did nothing. So I was like, all right, the next batch, I'm going to put a little more. And I was like, okay, I cannot figure the naan out. Bye-bye. Delicious pancakes, but I'm over the naan.
We'll get it.
If you see naan coming up, you'll know that we perfected it.
All right. Then we are gonna cut it short today. Hope everyone has a great weekend. We got plenty of stuff coming up, as Jude said. We got some fun things that we're going to be announcing soon. So keep your ears peeled. Hope everyone has a safe and happy Friday. I'm here, so it's typically.
And I'll be there. I'll be there on Monday, and so check back with the group and look for our live videos coming up next week because we'll see how it goes. We'll try to do a few as we cook together next week.
Well, I hope you're ready to go to bed at 7:30 every
No,
night.
we are going to stay up. We are not going. We're going for a night swim.
My house is locked. Good luck with that. You wake the neighborhood, you jump in that pool. It's freezing. It's like 50 degrees. Yeah, everything's dark and the house is locked up tight at 7:30. It's like,
oh my gosh.
It's time for bed. I'm up at 1 a.m.
Oh my gosh. We're going to have to play cards outside or something.
Quietly.
Yes.
All righty, great, everybody. Well, let me do this real quick. I keep forgetting to, oops. Boop.
What? Aw, thanks for watching.
My cues here. So, yeah, everyone have a great, happy, and safe weekend. And then we will catch up with everyone this coming week. Get ready, Winter Wonder Group. Remember, we're going to start on Monday. We'll be clicking that button on Monday. I'll do a live feed. Jude will be here. She'll be coming. I'll probably do that before she gets here. But, yeah, looking forward to it. All right. Everyone have a good weekend.
Prepping and shopping, everybody. Have a nice weekend.
All right. We'll see you.
Bye.